as dental professionals, I think there are oftentimes where we hear myths in dentistry. I know I hear them a lot, like on podcasts, and I just want to like scream into the podcast. I'm like, that's not true. Or we hear it in the office, which is nice because then we can actually speak to our patients about it. But one of the common myths is if I don't have pain, I don't need dental work. Is that something you want to speak on?
That is a myth. A lot of times we start to have problems and they might be very small. We might be able to address them while they're small, but usually by the time you have any type of dental pain, it might be too late. You might need a root canal. You might not be able to save the tooth at all by the time you're having a lot of pain. So it's important that we keep up to date with preventative care. You come in for your regular hygiene, your checkups, because if you're not having pain, there still could be something going on.
I think that is so true to your point. If we catch it early, is wonderful because then we're able to do less, in terms of work for our patients. And so yes, if it's painful, it usually requires more treatment.
Right, less is always the goal.
Absolutely.
Fact or myth, straight teeth are just cosmetic.
That is a myth. I always think orthodontics, like the result that's like a perk is actually the aesthetic of it all. Mm-hmm. The real behind the scenes and why, dentists and orthodontists love if patients will straighten their smiles is it's almost like setting a beautiful foundation for their dental care. Mm-hmm. So we see patients with a really nice balanced bite and straight teeth. They have less gum disease, they have less cavities, less dental work is required, less wear and tear. So orthodontics is actually a really beautiful preventative measure, and having the straight teeth is, a nice little perk to it all.
I couldn't agree more. There's so many reasons to do orthodontics or Invisalign, and it's much easier to keep your teeth clean and you have a lot less tartar buildup, and there's so many problems when your bite is not correct, and it can cause recession, it can cause unnecessary wear, and all these things are things that we can fix when we correct your bite and align the teeth in a good way. And the aesthetic outcome, having straight, beautiful teeth, that is just a bonus.
Yep, totally. All right, Dr. Brattebo, myth or fact? Baby teeth don't matter. They just fall out anyway.
That is a myth. We do lose our baby teeth, but it's so important for your child's health, and small problems can lead to bigger problems down the road. And these baby teeth, they hold the place for your permanent teeth to come in. So when we lose baby teeth prematurely and we don't have a way to maintain that space, we see problems in their growth and development. And those are things that we can easily avoid through preventative care, having them visit the dentist from a young age and getting them checked up on.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think with kids too, like if we're talking about cavities, even if cavities get big, they cause infections, and infections can be very serious, and they could even be life-threatening if not taken care of. So I think it's so important, and it sets these kids up for success, right? If we make oral health care an important part of their childhood, it'll hopefully carry with them, all throughout life. My daughter tries to fight us when brushing her teeth.
It's not that easy.
But she's not gonna win with parents as dentists. And now she's really excited. She has her electric toothbrush and she's ready to brush in the morning, and we have little flossers. And I think the more that we just make it part of our daily routine, the more she's excited about it too.
And I think something that we are learning is so important is we as parents have to be brushing for our kids, I think, for a lot longer than we realize. And we can we can teach them how to brush, but it's still important that we get in there and do the job until we're incredibly confident that they are doing a good job cleaning their teeth themselves.
I let her do it to give her the autonomy, which is great. But yes, we go back in there too, and you have to brush the tongue too. That's her favorite thing recently.
I'm glad she's learning.
Absolutely. But yes, I think, setting our kids up for success is so crucial, and not open them up to having complications.
You're so right.
Yeah.